Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gaming Daddy channel. Today we're going to be talking about something that is starting to float around the community. And what I think this will be is basically an opinion. And I want to just basically see how many people are experiencing this. And so by the end of this video, I want you to indicate in the comment section what your experience is. Now, before I even start this video, there might be people who, jump out the front door saying, oh, this is just people crying, oh, blah, 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 blah. I don't think that's the case. I'm one of the people who advocated that they never nerfed the enemy NPCs after Warlords of New York came out. I was literally on that train saying the game needs to be as difficult as it needs to be, but it seemed like more people said it was too difficult, and so the developers, systemically, I hate the word systematically. I don't know. They gradually, I guess I should use that word. They gradually started like making nerfs to the enemy NPCs. Now, in some instances, the enemy NPCs were a little, they were a little off the cuff. But I felt, because many of us are endgame players, it was something we had to just deal with as a difficulty spike. But some people felt otherwise. But now that we have Title Update 10, there are people that have been actually, noticing and saying that it seems like the enemy NPCs feel a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more tanky. Now, I don't know if I may have missed this in the patch notes, but the enemy NPC behavior has actually changed, and this was not indicated anywhere in the patch notes. Even I have noticed a little change, but I don't want to say what my change is because I don't want to influence your decision on these changes. Now, either way, whether the changes are good or bad, I don't really care. I think what I care more about is that these changes, if they were made, be indicated in the patch notes so that the community can know, what changes are being made. That's part of the so-called development process of a game like this. Leaving it for everybody to just go figure out and run into a situation and see somebody with a shotgun snipe you from like 10 meters and then basically all your health is wiped out. That is not something that people want to run into when they launch the game for a new patch, because people are launching a game from a new patch with a little bit of excitement, and something like that is a little bit off-putting in a sense. It's maybe a shocking thing, or maybe the developers intended for it to be a surprise. Hey, enemy NPCs are back. Maybe that's what they intended, but I don't see that as a gameplay factor that they have not necessarily explained as to why. There were a lot of developer notes and a lot of developer explanations about the changes to skill power, status effect, some nerfs that they made, some buffs that they made. These were good changes. The explanations seemed a little sufficient. In my opinion, some of them were insufficient, but that's not necessarily the case. I think the case is, if they made any changes, which it does seem like, I feel like they need to come out and address those changes and let people know exactly why they made these changes and what they are. If they remain transparent with the way they are, tweaking the game and making the enemy NPCs respond and react, it will literally help a lot of things. It would definitely take this game to a whole different, level. Because right now, little actions like these, and that is if they made any changes. I'm not saying that they did make any changes, but little actions like this do not serve the community much. Now, am I going to still be playing the game? Definitely so. There are even gear sets and brand sets that are here to help us be stronger. And if those gear sets and brand sets are going to help us be stronger, then the enemy NPCs, it will make sense that they also maybe be more aggressive or maybe be, in a sense, more evasive. But to leave that, under the radar and not mention that if that's a change that was made seems to be a little disingenuous and doesn't serve for the community relationship between this game. One of the things that's really interesting right now is the Division 2 and the inevitable climate that it's going to face in the next few months. Right now, there's a console war brewing. Not even a console war. There's huge, heavy hitters in the gaming industry that are basically stomping their feet on the floor. Sony has basically shown dozens and dozens and dozens of video games that are going to be basically limited to the PlayStation 4. Many of these games are catching the eyes of gamers far across the board. Even those of you who are dad gamers, some of these games are looking good as games that you may want to purchase for your kids as perhaps a gift or, something for making a good grade or for Christmas and all that. The Division 2 has basically, with all of what's going on, has, basically seemed to, want to run its course of life by constantly making these decisions that are somewhat inconsequential when you look at them from a small picture. But I think the extent of the consequences are about to show up. Players are about to gain more options starting from, I think, July. June is basically a kick to the corner. The Last of Us 2 Part 2, has started releasing gameplay footage, and many of the fans are just like, okay, there is no way we can justify even engaging in this. I think more people were more fanning along with The Last of Us Part 2. But after having seen some of the gameplay, it has changed a lot of minds. And so it probably is going to be one of those $5 games, and Ghost of Tsushima seems like what's going to actually take the throne in PlayStation exclusive finale for 2020. But hopefully Tom Clancy's Division developers can be smart and adapt to the situation. I would like for them to win, but if they made this so-called enemy aggressive or enemy behavior change and did not let us know, then I think they probably should let us know. And probably I might be wrong. There might be something in the patch notes that does say this is what's happened. And, it might be something that just needs to be, communicated, or it might be something where I may have missed it. But I did read the patch notes and I didn't see anything of that sort. So that's basically my stance or my opinion on this. If you are experiencing anything about enemy aggressiveness that you've noticed, please list it in the comment section, and, do it as clearly as you possibly can. Or maybe just a one-worder. Don't comment and drive, please. Do it when you're in a place where you are safe enough to be able to type a message. All right. Thank you so much for your time and audience. I appreciate you guys so much. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Peace.